players or even Marvel rivals, and I'm mostly talking about competitive players or people that play competitive, because the game right now is in the worst state it's ever been, or it's in the most boring state it's ever been. And it seems like every season, it doesn't seem to get better in terms of feeling like this game is worth your time. Yeah, they have been pushing out some balance changes and changing up the core mechanics of the game, but the deep-rooted issues that still plague this game are still here. For example, the balancing in this game is completely off by a lot, and you can see this in most of the heroes they release and some heroes that are out right now. If, for example, look at Luna Snow. She has a snowball. She does the same amount of damage as a DPS player. Meanwhile, she's still a support player while also having a good ultimate. That within itself tells you so much about the balancing in this game, because how does a support player do that much while having the ability to heal, have good sustain, and do a lot of damage like a DPS player? I mean, like a DPS hero. And it's not just one instance of a hero being broken. You can find this across many heroes in the game where their damage output, healing output, tanking output, all their outputs are just basically broken. Like, they provide so much value, and usually they require minimal skill to use. And most people think like, oh, they're just bad at balancing the game. No, the reason why they're like this to begin with is for the sole purpose to keep this game casual. For example, look at Invis's shield. People were like, why can she shield herself? People that play this game GM and higher, people that take this game serious, have started to realize like, why is she having a self shield? She is literally becoming almost impossible to kill, and you can see this in the nerf changes they brought upon her, especially with Gambit, Luna Snow. All these nerfs that are coming to these heroes that give a lot of output, they're getting nerfed, and for good reason. But going back to why they were even there to begin with, is because they're trying to keep this game casual. If they remove these things, the core audience of Marvel rival players will get bored, frustrated, and just leave. They're not like us, people that grind this game that want to get good. If the casual player base becomes tired or fatigued of this game, you know what they're gonna do? Since they don't really take this game super serious, they're probably just gonna leave or play another game like Overwatch. And this is what people aren't getting, is why they're trying to cater to less competitive players of this game. Because if they could cater to making this game completely balanced, most of the audience would just leave for this game. Most of the player base would just either quit or just not play as much. Next we got is basically a balancing, but for the matchmaking system. Ever since this game released, people have noticed that the matchmaking system was really designed just to keep you playing for way longer by giving you win-loss, or win streaks and lose streaks back to back, simply to keep you playing for way longer. And it does this by giving you bad teammates. And the teammates you get usually players that are just casual at this game, but for some reason don't have the awareness to be playing rank at all. And it's not just that it's designed to keep you playing for way longer. It's not balanced in the slightest ways possible. There's no like substitution to show you, to put you in matches where your teammates actually know what they're doing, or you go up against people that are actually your skill level. For example, once the simple EMO matchmaking system does its job at putting you in teams that you don't belong in, or teammates that you don't even need, or putting you in matches where you don't belong, it doesn't give you teammates that are actually your skill level. It doesn't put you up against people that actually belong in your skill level. You either get throwers, people that are just insta-locking, going up against people that are on the Smurfs accounts. Basically, all of it is just really designed to keep you either stuck in a certain rank, not because you're necessarily bad, but because it's just trying to keep you there for way longer, so you have like the necessity to keep grinding. Next thing is the community in this game. Since there's no road queue in this game, people are most likely gonna be at each other's throats if you accidentally pick a certain hero, pick triple DPS or any type of thing. And it's crazy because the people that usually don't like when you play something that is in meta, or is something that's completely different like triple DPS, they will usually start being toxic, or usually will start complaining about you. And that's like the general community in this game. Most of them don't want to see a different team composition. Most of them just want to win their games in a fair, balanced way. And I'm not saying their complaints are illegitimate. It's just most of them just get so annoying to the point where like they're willing enough to crash out if you play something that isn't a norm. Like I said, like if you play triple DPS, not triple support, because most of them, if you see triple support, most people don't care. But if you go triple DPS, most people do care. And that's what I mean, that this community can also be the reason why people end up quitting this game. It's because there's literally most people just aren't willing enough to like play as a team, or aren't willing enough to just deal with these type of players. And I don't know if you can really count this as community, but the people that throw in your matches or just don't care and insta-lock whatever they want, I don't even know if you can count them in the community, but those players, they really end up being the reason why you don't play this game as much, because they almost feel pointless when not everyone's on the same page of wanting to win. I'm gonna make a little side note here, but if you play competitive and let's say your team is doing alright, for some reason people will still argue in your games. For example, it will be the tank arguing with the support or the DPS arguing with the support. And the thing is, we will still be doing good or still doing somewhat good, and people will still be arguing with each other. And the reason why that happens is usually because people that play this game more serious or people that know how to play this game end up having players that aren't particularly competitive or aren't particularly good at being competitive in their games. And that's what I mean. The matchmaking system is non-exist, doesn't exist in this game at all. It's the only thing that exists is to keep you playing for way longer. So now we kind of know like what keeps people from quitting this game. I mean, so now we know why people are leaving this game or just quitting this game flat out. It's the community, it's the balancing, it's the matchmaking system. All these things are contributing to people just leaving. And I think the fourth reason that's going to keep, or it's going to be the main reason as to why players leave, especially the competitive players, are usually going to be the fatigue when it comes to this game. Because the people that really left this game, for all the reasons I listed, the only players that are left playing this game that haven't left yet is going to be the fatigue that gets to them. Because even if Season 9 comes out, if they don't fix anything drastic like they did in Season 8 or Season 9 or Season 7.5 by changing the ultimate charge on on all heroes, then people are just going to leave because it's going to feel redundant constantly having to deal with the same meta, the same matchmaking system, and the same teammates they get every match, where people are either just throwing, people are just insta-locking whatever they want and never switching, or just dealing with horrible balancing. If nothing changes, the people that have been sticking with this game for long periods of time are just going to ultimately end up leaving because there's nothing new. Even if they release a new hero, it's still going to feel like the same thing where like either if they release them, they either become too broken or they underperform so well in the meta that releasing them was just pointless. And most people think like the main way to fix this is to stop releasing new heroes and fix what's already broken inside the game, which might help, but I think it might end up just killing off the averageness, or I mean the casual players on Marvel Rivals, because the people who benefit mostly from these unbalanced changes are usually just casual players, not really competitive players.